we were robbed. Hi everyone, and welcome to Vlogmas Day 12. I'll be home for Christmas. I decided to do another chill sit-down video. I say chill, but I put on a full face of makeup. Listen, I was only supposed to put on concealer, eyebrows, and like a lip gloss, and then it just turned into this full-on holiday glam. What can you do? I actually feel like this would be a really good like holiday party makeup. Maybe I'll do another sit-down makeup-y video for you guys for this Vlogmas, because I feel like my makeup process and routine changes every single year because I learned so many new tricks and hacks from Instagram and TikTok and other YouTube videos, and I don't want to toot my own horn, but I feel like I'm getting better at doing my own makeup. Today is all about answering all of your questions. I asked you guys over on my Instagram to send me any questions that you have, whether it be about life, love, marriage, food, money, whatever it is, and that I was going to sit down and answer them. Some of you do want to remain anonymous, so I will just flash the screenshot of the question without your name. I also have to say that I'm a little distracted now because I've got my laptop in front of me. There isn't like a live link for the PBA 3x3 games, so Nico told me to just go on the website, and this is so delayed, like it's literally one game delayed. So I'm waiting for Nico's game. I asked him if they won, and of course he isn't replying. I hope that means that they won and that he's just teasing me and that they didn't lose and he's like in the worst mood ever. Let's get to your question. Also, I feel like I kind of look like Morticia Adams, right? Like I have become so flippin' pale. It's quite disturbing. But I know I'm also going to be getting a bunch of questions about my lipstick. It is absolutely amazing. It's by Tom Ford. It's the mini lip color in the shade 10 Isabelle, and it's a soft shine lipstick. It is so flippin' cute. Perfect, honestly, for chucking in your bag, especially if you've got Christmas parties. It's not matte, which I like because then it's still moisturizing, but it's not like super shiny. Cannot recommend enough. Go out and look for it if you can. I will also leave the shade in the description box. How are you related sa famous clan of Barretos? Yes, I am related to the showbiz Barretos. I have seen them in several Barreto reunions. If I'm not mistaken, their family is from like a different province. I don't know if it's like distant cousins or whatever. My mom kind of just said we're related to them, but it's not super close. I don't know if she's saying that because she just doesn't like what they're associated with. Sorry, I can't answer it in any more detail because I genuinely don't know. Story time. Your worst hosting gig. I love this question because when I first saw it, I haven't read through all of these questions, by the way, so some of these are going to be very spontaneous, but I actually saw this one when my question thingy was still up on my stories, and I was thinking for like the longest time, surely there must have been a gig that I absolutely hated or I was completely and utterly distressed and stressed and miserable in. But I can safely say that all of the companies and people I have had the pleasure of working with over the past X number of years of me being a host, I've never encountered a horrible client, a horrible production team. I think because we're all trying to make sure that the event is a success, everyone is just working together towards that goal. There have been events that have been very stressful. The crowd had absolutely no engagement, the weather was crazy, technical glitches with monitors and microphones and light sounds, like those things happen especially during live events, but more often than not, because everybody is working towards the same goal of making the event successful, you all help each other through those moments. If I were to pinpoint a specific gig that was absolutely horrendous, it was because we were robbed. If you guys didn't know, a couple of years ago, Justin Quirino and we hosted in BGC. We had our own tent that had like a guard outside the door. So when we left to do our segment, Leia went with us because she was documenting the whole thing, and Justin and I left our bags inside our private tent with a guard in front of the door, and when we got back after the entire spiel, we were robbed. Justin, I think, lost his camera and like a bunch of different tech stuff. I lost my wallet because luckily enough, my phone was in my pocket during my hosting, which is something I never do. So thank God I had my phone. Leia also lost a bunch of stuff because she left a bag in the tent as well. What made mine so heartbreaking wasn't even that there was money in my wallet or that I had to call all of my cards, like credit card, I had to get a new license, like all of that stuff was like a real hassle. But what really broke my heart was the fact that the wallet that was stolen was a vintage Versace wallet that my mom had given me and that I had been using since college. So like that broke my heart and that really made me feel so terrible. Thankfully, none of us were hurt. I had my phone. I think Justin had his phone as well. Leia had majority of her stuff, and what was stolen could always be replaced. Like that's what I just kept trying to tell myself, that at the end of the day, money can be earned, cards can be reapplied, and cameras can be bought, but lives and safety, that can't. Grateful that we weren't hurt. Sad that that happened. Best lesson you learned this year. I mean, there are so many, but I think if I had to narrow it down, it's to be completely and fully 100% dependent on the Lord. And I don't want to sound preachy and I don't want to sound high and mighty, but especially for this year, that was really something that I had to learn, and I had to learn it in the middle of a pandemic where things weren't sure. I retired from radio back in February, and radio was my stable income job. I was always guaranteed a paycheck on the 10th and on the 25th that would help me save up and contribute to our house, to my home here, to my mom and to Trina as well. And yes, I'd have gigs here and there, but they weren't too frequent, and that was one of the reasons why I was so hesitant whether or not I wanted to retire. So I was really praying and asking God to help me because I had so much fear and anxiety. Just one day, God put it in my head that it was time for me to close that chapter in my life. So I did, and it was so hard because let me tell you, after I left radio, I had no gigs. Leia knows this. Leia and I have had many heart-to-hearts. Right after I left radio, I had a couple of gigs here and there and a couple of like online content creation postings, but other than that, I had nothing, and I was spiraling. I was crying to God, to Nico, to my mom, to Trina, to Leia. I was in such deep regret. I was like, I shouldn't have done this. And then during one of my crying spells, sorry, you can clearly see I'm not wearing pants. During one of my low moments, I cried out to God, and all of a sudden I just had this wave of calm and peace, and I knew that I was going to be okay. And true enough, after a couple of months of having 1 or 2 hostings, I had so many. I am just so grateful to the Lord, to my management, and to all of the companies and agencies that pitch me and want me and hire me. It's not always going to be easy and it's not always going to be instant, but when you rely on the Lord 100% and you depend on Him, I was more at peace. What's currently your most favorite bag? I have been obsessed, and I mean obsessed, with the bag that I have been using, my mom's vintage black Bottega Veneta hobo bag. It's the bag that I've literally been using ever since I got it from the house a couple of weeks back, and I am in love with it. First of all, it's from my mom, so obviously I love it. Second, there's just something about Bottega Veneta leather. It is so soft and buttery. It's such a beautiful bag, and it's gigantic, which makes it so easy to just throw in everything. I've been using it during Vlogmas, so I've been able to chuck in my vlogging camera, my tripod, extra battery, the most perfect bag. I'm a fan of the traveling trio, and I'm just wondering if there'll be a chance to have a traveling vlog with Carissa. Wow, very formal. Will you also have an overseas trip before the year ends? Just like the good old times, I've been a fan since Carl's Kaleidoscope. Thank you so much for being an absolute OG. I'll answer the first part. Traveling vlog with Kara. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, there isn't even a trip planned for Mom Trina and I just yet, let alone with Kara. We haven't seen Kara, and I'm sure you guys are wondering where she's been. We haven't seen Kara in the vlogs because she's been pretty busy. She's going through her own thing, doing her own stuff, and I don't want to just like put a camera up in her face or have her answer online what exactly is going on. I feel like Kara is still also a very private person. She has her own things going on, and I'm not gonna put her through that. But we're okay. I think that's something that I need to address because people are like, are you guys fighting again? Is she out of your life again? I thought she was in your life and you were never gonna let her go. Like, I was getting a lot of questions on Kara. Kara sends me the most random messages and pictures of Callie and all of her other children. It's just been a crazy time and a very busy time. When the time comes, the right time comes, Kara will be all up in this biz again. And then the second part of her question was, do you guys have an overseas trip planned before the year ends? I'll just have to wait and see, won't ya? Okay, next question. Do you watch K-dramas? If so, what are your favorites? Nobody come for me, but no. I mean, I know never say never, but I just, every time somebody encourages me or talks to me about a certain K-drama and I think, oh my god, that's so cute, I should give that a try. And then when I go on Netflix or whatever and like it's on screen, I'm like, maybe next time. I know there are a lot of fantastic ones out there and maybe one day I will. The closest I've gotten to watching like a Korean show and absolutely loving was Squid Game. That was the only like legit Korean TV show that I watched and I was hooked on. I thought it was awesome. Updated skincare routine, please. Let me know if you guys want me to do that this Vlogmas. Like, it doesn't have to be a full-on video just about my skincare. I have been using a couple of new products that have definitely been helping with my texture. Only recently has my skin kind of gotten back to what it was before and I'm so grateful. This one is from Jazz. Jazz, I'm sure you don't mind that I'm not keeping you anonymous because I freaking love you. Are you into Wednesday 2, aka the Wednesday Addams show on Netflix? I haven't seen it yet. Trina was obsessed with it. Mom loved it. All the people I've spoken to were like, oh my god, it's hilarious. I know that it's by Tim Burton, so that in and of itself makes me want to watch it already. All of the little clips I've seen on TikTok or Instagram, she is so completely deadpan and hilarious. Like, based off of those clips, she reminds me of like a dark Daria. For those of you that have seen the show, is that accurate? I will definitely be watching it. I just want to watch it with Nico. Like, I have been waiting for him to be game to watch it with me. We're currently watching House of Hammer on HBO Go, and let me tell you, Army Hammer and his entire family, complete sickos. If you haven't seen it yet, please watch it. It's just so disturbing to know. It's generations of creepy, abusive, disgusting men. Hope not intrusive, but how are you and your sisters? We're okay. Kara and Trina and even Mom, they're not on YouTube unless it's in one of my videos, and even then I don't like to put them in all of my videos because I understand that, you know, they're also private people. Just know that we're okay. Any current reads at it, thank you. Please hide my identity. Hahaha, thank you. I have to say, guys, I have not been reading again. It makes me really sad. I don't know why. Every time I get ready for bed and I get all tucked in, I'm about to reach for my Kindle and then I either end up watching something with Nico or I end up watching TikTok for like an hour and a half, and that's really bad, and I should definitely stop watching TikTok at night because I end up sleeping at like midnight. So hopefully I will get back into reading soon. But before I went on this break from reading, I was obsessed with books by Lisa Jewell. I think I've spoken about her on this channel already before. She's a British thriller crime author and her books are so freaking good. They're sick and they're twisted and they're dark, and if you're into crime and thrillers and murder, check out her books. It's Nico's game! Go next! Where are you planning to travel next? Any international trips lined up? Thank you for doing Vlogmas again. Please know I personally enjoy them. They keep me sane. I want to make 2023 the year that Nico and I travel, that Nico and I and his family travel, that Nico and I and my family travel. Like, I have all of these insane ideas and hopes and dreams. Hopefully they'll come true. I really want to go back to Japan. I know that Nico's mom really wants to go back to Korea with us. We want to go to Dubai. I want to go back to London with Mom and Trina. There are just so many things that I want to do next year in terms of travel, but nothing is set in stone. So unfortunately, I can't share any plans with you guys. I want to take this moment right now to just thank all of you. I know some of you have literally been waiting for videos, especially when I would promise that the videos would come regularly and then they didn't, and you would wait patiently and you would message me on Instagram or you would leave comments in old videos saying, I'm rewatching this, I miss your vlogs, I miss your videos. And I just want you guys to know that I truly will never be able to articulate just how grateful I am for each and every one of you. And I say that with my whole heart. Sometimes I get so overwhelmed with the thought, what did I even ever do to deserve such love from people I haven't even met yet, but kind of somehow have a relationship with, all because of this little space that we've created online? It wasn't a question that was sent, but somebody who asked to remain anonymous messaged me asking me about like the views and this year's Vlogmas, and she was saying something like, I hope you don't stop Vlogmas because the views are low. The views no longer matter. Maybe 4 years ago they did. I would think, oh my gosh, nobody's watching my videos, like I don't even want to make anything anymore. But if the pandemic taught me something in terms of content creation, it's that not everything is about the numbers. If one of my Vlogmas videos gets 200 views, 300 views, I'm okay. Yes, it's hard work. Yes, I wake up early in the morning to edit and to upload and whatnot, but I enjoy it, number one. And number two, I know that even if, let's say, it only gets 300 views, those 300 people took the time out of their day to watch me. Why wouldn't I be happy about that? Why wouldn't I be grateful about that? I also know that December is a really busy time. A lot of us have new responsibilities. Our lives have changed drastically from how they were last year. So I know people have a lot of things going on, and sometimes YouTube isn't necessarily the #1 priority. So I totally and completely understand. I don't take it against anybody. That's why for those of you that comment saying, I'm so sorry, I'm only catching up on Vlogmas now, don't even apologize. I genuinely love hearing you guys say things like my vlogs bring you comfort, or you're working out and you're watching my vlogs, or my vlog is in the background and you're doing house chores. Like, that in and of itself means so much to me already. And I can say this with 100% confidence. You are getting all of the Vlogmas videos this year. Even if nobody watches, I'm still gonna put out videos every day until Christmas. What is your go-to meal to cook? Probably my Mexican beef bowl, my kimchi fried rice, pancakes, or breakfast sausages with garlic rice and egg. I love making roast chicken with vegetables. Grega Nuts actually has 2 more questions, and they're both really good. I'm gonna answer them as well. What are your current holy grails? If it's in terms of makeup, Strokes Clear Brow Gel, the Happy Skin Holy Grail Brow Pen, L'Oreal Lash Paradise Mascara, One Size Translucent Powder, My Real Techniques Beauty Sponges, and the Issey & Co. Active Skin Tint Concealer, and the Cream Blush in the shade Baby Girl. Oh, and the True Flex Illuminator in the shade Halo, also by Issey & Co. What's your favorite thing about your new house? Everything. It's something that we've been dreaming about and planning, saving up for. We make decisions together, and I love everything it symbolizes, which is our life together and our life together till we're old and gray. Any near plans for a kid? I did get a lot of baby questions. We'll have to see what God has in store for Nico and I. Did a bank help you build your dream home with Nico? Love you since Tumblr days. Thank you so much, and don't worry, I will not say who you are. No, a bank didn't help us with the house. Like I've said in previous videos, that's why Nico and I are working very hard and saving very hard, which is why also in terms of furniture, we will be doing everything very slowly. What do you usually have for Noche Buena? We don't actually have Noche Buena in our family. I don't know if Nico does. We have a big dinner on the 23rd, and that dinner has my mom's famous roast beef, my grandmother's chicken potato salad, which has been a staple in our lives. We usually have some form of carb. We have a chocolate cake. Nico brings his tita's ham, which is so freaking good. Yeah, that's usually what we have. There's queso de bola, there's pandesal, there's strawberry jam and butter, and lots of wine. What's your Christmas food staple? My mom's chicken potato salad. I literally eat copious amounts of it. It's very unhealthy how much potato is consumed by my body. Okay, last 2 questions because it's starting to drizzle. Plus, I've been talking for a really long time. Oh, this is a cute question. I like this. Will you be having your own Christmas traditions with Kuya? I'd like to think that in time, Nico and I will develop new Christmas traditions that we'll start doing together, and then with our children. Last year was our first Christmas together as a married couple, and we wore Christmas pajamas, and we had Christmas coffee and opened our presents and watched Christmas movies, and that was lovely. That's something that I would like to continue on. Hopefully Nico won't get sick of the Christmas movies that I make him watch, aka The Holiday, Love Actually, and Elf. I think in time, especially when we finally get to move into our house. And the last question, I had to include it. Is it hard to date a basketball player? Tips, please. First of all, girl, are you dating a basketball player? Because, are you sure? No, I'm just kidding. You know, there's always like a negative connotation when basketball players, ballers are mentioned. People always think cheaters, they're babaero, violent, they don't respect women. And sometimes that's very true. There are definitely men who play basketball for a living, or even basketball in college, who are absolutely disgusting. But that goes for people in general, men and women. I just also want to say that despite there being basketball players who are like that, they don't represent all. I do know a few basketball players who are genuinely such nice guys. Like, they're such nice, decent human beings who just so happen to play basketball for a living. Is it difficult dating a basketball player? I think it's not so much... Oh, paputok. it's definitely different. The number one challenge that Nico and I have is schedule. It's very hard to plan things with a basketball player, especially when they're in season or when they're preparing for a season because they have training. And unlike a regular job where you can file for leave and you have vacation leave and you have sick leave, basketball players don't really have that. If you want to plan like a fun trip, if you want to get cheap airplane tickets or seat sale promos, you can't do that while dating a basketball player because they can't just drop training or skip games to do those things with you. But it comes with the territory. I am not celosa, so fans and like fangirls never really bothered me. Even in college when Nico was a star in Ateneo, there would be girls like tweeting him and posting pictures with him and fighting me online, and it never really bothered me because I was never one to be jealous. I guess it can be a difficulty for some. A tip that I can give is if he's not giving you any reason to be upset or jealous or worried about these girls, then don't be. And I know that sounds easier said than done, but just remember, he's in a relationship with you. He goes home to you. He goes on dates with you. So regardless of what some fans or supporters or even just girls online might be saying, don't let it get to you because you know the truth and you're the one who's in the relationship. And that's all I have to say about that topic. And there you guys have it. Just a quick Vlogmas Q&A for today's video. Thank you so much for sending in all of your questions. Don't forget, you can still send me questions. I cannot promise you that I will even see them though, because let's face it, Instagram has been doing me dirty, especially in terms of DMs, but I will do my best to answer you if you do message me. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 13. Bye!